Stories are a common feature of our everyday existence. We will continually reflect on the question, why do I need a story to live by? In this video we will explore some of the sacred stories of Indigenous New Zealanders, otherwise known as the Maori people, and you'll have to excuse my pronunciation. As in many spiritualities and religions, there is a creation story in Maori culture, which starts with the idea of emptiness, nothing existing. This is called Tacori. One version of the story goes, two gods appeared, Rangi and Papa. Together they had 6 children, who each governed a different element of creation: weather, crops, war, sea, forests, and plants. The story goes that the children did not have enough space, so cut the arms of their father to separate Rangi and Papa, and they were then able to see the sky and light for the first time. The children fought over power, jealousy, and anger, but eventually one of them, the god of the forest, formed and breathed life into red ochre and created humans, female before male. There are local differences in the story, but it is evident to see in this generalized version common ground between this creation story and other creation stories from different cultures and religions. You may have heard of a place called Rotorua, a town on the North Island of New Zealand, which is a cultural centre for Maori people. It has geysers and thermal pools because of local geothermal activity. Rotorua's story begins in the mid-1300s, when the Arawa canoe arrived at Makitu on the Bay of Plenty coastline. I will read you the rest of the story from rotoruanz.com. I quote, "A young Te Aroa man, Ehenga, is said to have discovered Rotorua. He was hunting for delicacies for his pregnant wife, when one of his dogs disappeared chasing a kiwi. The dog returned some time later, with his coat wet, and regurgitated a meal of half-digested fish. Ehenga realized he was near water, so he searched until he discovered Lake Rotoiti, and later Lake Rotorua. There have been visitors to Rotorua from as far back as the 1800s, when people came to see the pink and white terraces at Lake Rotomahana. However, these were destroyed in 1886, when Mount Tarawera erupted. 150 people were killed in that disaster, and the surrounding area was devastated, which meant many local people of the nearby villages moved away to rebuild their lives. They were welcomed into other local communities in the geothermal valley, but visitors continued to arrive, so they continued to host and guide them. This remains a tradition in Rotorua. One way of telling stories in traditional Maori culture is by art carving in wood, bone, or stone. Wood which had been carved could be used as a handle or a fence post, or used in a house. Some carvers see a deeply spiritual side to their carving. The carving in itself is a sacred story. You can look up images of Te Toi Wakairo, and you will find examples of carvings that have been made, as well as images of artists doing the carving. If you've ever seen New Zealand playing rugby, you will have seen one form of sacred storytelling, the haka. The haka is a traditional war dance of the Maori people, which was performed before a battle to intimidate the enemy. The haka has also been used at ceremonial occasions, such as funerals. Take a minute to watch a performance of a haka, perhaps from a rugby game. What are its noticeable features? Haka are commonly used today to mark important occasions and to honor guests.